Ranking my favorite Pokemon from Generation 2, the Johto region. Let's get right into it. We have a lot of options to choose from. We have Ursaring, we have Blissey, Noctowl, Sentret, Furret. In this region, my favorite normal type would be Miltank because back in the days when I used to play the Heart Gold and Soul Silver games, Whitney and a Miltank were unstoppable. Then we have the fire types. In this, I would prefer Typhlosion because very cool looking starter, and I would love playing with Cyndaquil in the games as well. Then we have the water types. Good water types to choose from. I have to go with Feraligatr, vicious alligator Pokemon. Love the water typing. Very, very versatile Pokemon to play with in the games. Then we have the grass types. Kind of didn't like the grass types back when I was playing the games in the Johto region. Not a lot of options to choose from. I would rather prefer to go ahead with Bayleaf because Ash had a Bayleaf. Pretty cool looking Pokemon. He used to use it a lot in the anime. Not a very strong Pokemon, but just for the vibes. Then we have the electric type. I have to go with my boy Ampharos. Very, very cool looking electric Pokemon. Then we have ice type. So the Johto region had very limited set of Pokemons. Not a lot of things to choose from as well. I genuinely like Sneasel. It's a very cool looking Pokemon. I loved using it in the games. So then we have the fighting type. We do not have any choices at all. So we have Heracross, Tyrogue, Hitmontop. I would rather prefer to keep Heracross later on during the bug types. Under pure fighting, I would go ahead with Hitmontop. Then we have the poison types. In this, I'd have to go with Quillfish. When I was playing Pokemon Go, I would use Quillfish a lot and it used to win me a lot of games. It has to be Quillfish in the poison type. Then we have the ground types. Very good versatile choices. Steelix, Quagsire, Gligar, but it has to be Donphan. Ash had a Donphan and it was crazy. It was a beast in the anime. So then we have the flying types. I'll have to go ahead with Noctowl here because Ash had a shiny Noctowl in the anime. I had a lot of memories watching the animes. Keeping that in mind, it has to be Noctowl. Then we have the psychic types. We have the entire unknown line and a few of the options here. I'd have to go ahead with Espeon. I love Eevee and all the evolutions. Then we have the bug types. Okay, so here I'm in a little bit of difficulty. So I really like Scizor. I even like Heracross, but as a bug type, I would go ahead with Heracross. Love the way that Heracross carried Ash's Johto team. Then we have the rock type. I see no other choice but Tyranitar. I love Tyranitar. Very strong pseudo legendary Pokemon. Then we have ghost types. We have just one choice. Mischievous it is. Then we have the dragon type. Same here. We don't have a lot of choices. Let's go ahead with Kingdra. Under dark types, we have a lot of options, but as I mentioned, I really like the evolutions, and Umbreon is one of my most favorite evolution. Even if you look at the Pokemon cards, Umbreon is one of the topmost choices that collectors want to collect. Then we have the steel type. So under steel we have a few options. Since I was stuck with Scizor and Heracross back then, I'll have to go with Scizor here. So up next we have the fairy type. As I mentioned in the previous video, the fairy types are not introduced until a later generation. For now I'll just go ahead with Togetic because I really find it cute. So next up is my favorite starter. I will have to go with Feraligatr. Pretty much every time whenever I used to play Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I would always go with Feraligatr and it carried me throughout the game. So next is my favorite legendary Pokemon of the Johto region. We have the three legendary dogs. We have Lugia, Moho and Celebi, but I really like Entei. It is a very cool looking Pokemon. I love the flowy mane that Entei has, and there's a movie about it as well. So finally, my favorite Pokemon in the entire Johto region has to be Tyranitar. I love this Pokemon. Really enjoyed playing the games. Even in the later generations, I would have Tyranitar in my team. So let's go ahead with Tyranitar as my favorite Pokemon this region. See you in the next video.